polar form of a complex number, example 4, we're to write negative root 3 minus I in polar form. To express a number in polar form, it's in terms of its modulus and argument. If we sketch the number, it gives us a concrete idea of what we're talking about. The real part of this number is negative root 3. That's roughly negative 1.7. And the imaginary part is negative I. We could see that this number appears in the third quadrant of an Argand diagram. We might recognize straight off that the modulus or radius of this number is 2. We could work this out either using the formula or using Pythagoras' theorem on the shown triangle. We know it has a side of 1, the square on that is 1, a side of root 3, the square on that is 3. So the hypotenuse, the square on it is 4, and the square root of 4 is 2. So we could see that the size or modulus of this number is 2. We could also use the formula on this. The formula says it's the square root of a squared plus b squared. So here it's the square root of negative root 3 squared plus negative 1 squared. When we sub this in, we see that it's the square root of 4, which is 2. The argument here, the shortest argument, is going in the clockwise direction, so this is going to be a negative angle. There's a related angle in the triangle, I'm going to call it alpha. We can see that alpha relates to the tan in the triangle. That tan of alpha is opposite over adjacent, which is 1 over root 3. Therefore, alpha must be tan inverse 1 over root 3. We might recognize this as being an angle of 30 degrees or pi over 6. If not, we could use a calculator to see that this is the angle pi over 6 in radians. We wish to work out the argument theta. We could see that alpha added to theta would make up an angle of pi or 180 degrees, although we're going in the negative direction. If we take 1/6 from 1, we end up with 5/6. So here we have negative 5/6 of pi is what theta must be. So now we can express it in polar form. So in polar form, it's in terms of the radius or modulus, and in terms of the argument theta. So we could say that negative root 3 minus I is equal to 2 times the cosine of negative 5 pi over 6 plus I sine negative 5 pi over 6.